Hi, my name is Gur Rosen, Senior Solutions Engineer at Kaminario. In the following video, I will demonstrate how the Kaminario K2 all-flash array with its native replication feature is capable to deliver more than a disaster recovery solution. I will show how K2 can automatically stream consistent copies of Microsoft SQL Server database environments to remote sites for test and dev, QA and more. The environment in this demo consists of two sites, a protected site and a recovery site. Each site has a virtualized SQL Server database connected to a K2 all-flash array. On the protected site, we have a SQL Server running production database that is being replicated to a recovery site. On the recovery site, we have a SQL Server database running consistent copies of the same database. The entire replication procedure is managed and monitored by a standalone management workstation. Creating a secondary consistent copy of the production database on a recovery site is a procedure with few necessary steps. In order to understand the needed steps done on the automatic script, let's first run the procedure manually and go over the different steps. The first step is taking a consistent application snapshot of the production database. From the management workstation, we trigger a Microsoft VSS script on the primary site that interacts with the SQL Server production database, quiesces the I/O, and requests the K2 to take a snapshot of the SQL Server volume group. Taking a snapshot using Microsoft VSS ensures that the snapshot is an application consistent point in time. As you can see, a snapshot and a view, our writable snapshot, are instantly created and immediately replicated to the recovery site. A check mark in the Has Peer column indicates that the snapshot was replicated to the recovery site. The next step is creation of a writable snapshot, what we call view, on the secondary site. We choose the SQL Server volume group on the secondary site and create a view from the replicated snapshot. As part of the view creation step, we can map the view to the respected host group as well. Now the views are mapped to the respected hosts and have LAN IDs. In the VMware vCenter client, we kindly request the host cluster to rescan its data stores. In the current demo, both SQL Server databases are virtualized. The rescan step is needed for the ESX cluster hosts to recognize the new LANs. After the rescan operation is done, we can attach the LANs as RDM disks to the standby SQL Server database VM. When working with physical hosts, the steps we just did are unnecessary. Now we can go to the standby SQL Server database server and see it has new disks. In order to be able to start the SQL Server database, we are running a script that interacts with the Windows OS, brings the disks online, modifies specific attributes on its volumes, and change the disk drive letters to match the SQL Server demands. The database is now ready to be used. The last step is to start the SQL Server database, and as the startup completes, we can run a mixed OLTP and OLAP workloads on the new replicated database running on the recovery site. K2's replication mechanism based on Kaminario's mature snapshot platform, so only the deltas that were created from the last snapshot taken in the system are replicated to the recovery site. This is a list of all the steps done manually. We have taken an application consistent snapshot using Microsoft VSS, created a new view and mapped it to the secondary site, rescanned the vCenter data stores, added the new LANs as RDM disks to the waiting SQL Server VM, run a script to modify the new Windows disks, started the SQL Server database, and finally run a mixed OLTP and OLAP workload. After understanding the steps needed to stream a consistent copy of Microsoft SQL Server database environment to a remote site, we can automate the procedure. Let's run the automatic procedure. A script running from the management workstation interacts through Python and PowerShell with both SQL Server databases on the primary site and on the recovery site. Using K2's native replication, we allow Microsoft SQL Server database users to benefit not only from a disaster recovery framework with a sub-minute RPO and sub-second RTO, but also from a remote environment running up-to-date SQL Server database for reporting, test and dev, QA, and so forth. For more information, please visit Kaminario.com.